Dear audience, I'm so sorry because it was a timing conflict because we expect to have more, the 1 hour delay. So that's why please accept my apologies. So, dear distinguished guests and panelists, my panelists, welcome to our panel. So this is the last panel of the day. It is always hard to be in the last panel. That's why I thank to my panelists here and also audience here for their resilience. So it is important, and it is also our title. So my name is Nuros Kanaybay. I'm the coordinator of Turkey Nation Brand Office, branch of the Directorate of Communication. Basically, I would like to just introduce my office. What we do is our office functions as a coordination and strategy making unit aimed at strengthening the nation brand of Turkey, which is the integral part of our vision, center of Turkey vision. So within this goal, we aim to work together to elevate Turkey brand with understanding that sees every citizens at home and abroad as a stakeholder with the help of our public and private sectors, including our all institutions, cities, export, tourism, art, academia, science, and sports. So, as you know, the power of countries is measured not only by their position in the international arena anymore, but also the power of the brands they produce and policies they adopt for collective well-being, cultural gains, health, security of the world. So, on the other hand, with these nice words, there's also strong competitive environment, very harsh competitive environment of globalization and digitalization. Also strategic branding and positioning efforts have become a must, not only for the companies or organizations, also for the countries. So competitive products, competitive cities and countries became essential in this context. So sustainable reputation, reputational security, brand value, threats against brand value come to the fore in this competition. In this term, in this context, fake news, disinformation, misinformation, malinformation, cyber attacks, and perception wars are the concepts we got familiar within this climate. So in fact, although we can create strong brands, identities, brand identities, perceptions towards that brand can change much faster as a result of the digitalization, and they can face many manipulation and threats. So in light of these points that I try to make, we aim to conduct effective brainstorming with my panelists. Our session titled Building Resilient Brands Against Global Threats. So our panelists will share their experiences of building resilient brands despite global threats in our world today. So we will also elaborate on the uncertainty created by hybrid threats that the measures that companies take to protect their success and corporate communication strategies in this age of uncertainty. So I'll just leave it short. And our first panelist, I would like to give Mr. Peter Eidenberg from Netherlands, so senior advisor to issue makers, focusing on social issues in politics, society, and the media. Their expertise in crisis management. I think your experience will be helpful for us and shed light on our discussion on building resilient brands against global threats. So I would like to give the floor to Mr. Eidenberg, and he will give us a presentation titled Towards a Resilient Society in Local Times. So this is much interesting part of your presentation, global, mix of global and local, I guess. So floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you very much, and thank you all for having me here. It's very inspiring. And when we talk about communication, we can communicate whatever we want, but in the end, it's all about people. And if we don't understand people, we can never be effective in our communication. And we talk about global times. What I mean is that our local instincts are tested by our global challenges. Even kijken hoe dit werkt. Oh. Sorry. No.
That one?
Sorry. Yeah. Well, talking about hybrid threats, these affect public opinion, and to safeguard our society, we need to be resilient, with the main theme of this conference. But how do we get a resilient society? That's an interesting but also difficult question. And when you go back to the people, that's what I started with, it's the people need to comprehend, need to understand in what world they live. And that's difficult now. They have to make sense of the world they live in and the place that they live in. And that's tested at the moment. These were local times. Talking about local, these were local times. 500 years, 1,000 years ago, life was hard, but at the same time it was simple. Everyone lived in the same village for hundreds of years, same family, same place. Nothing changed, no internet, no information, nothing, no traveling. So in these times, life was simple, and at the same time, this local DNA is still in ourselves. We still find our neighborhood, our family, our streets most important. That part hasn't changed. This is a picture of the lamppost in front of my own house, and our local government had to change the lampposts. And what did they do? They had chosen 5 different types, and they asked the people in the neighborhood, what type would you like to choose? So they did a sort of election on lampposts, and we all choose in the end this one. And the important thing is that 95% of our community, they voted. So this is the highest part in any election. And why did 95% vote? Because it's close by, it's in your own street. So this local DNA is still in ourselves. But at the same time, our lives are also tested by things that are going, events that take place far away. This is Karim Angar. He is a teacher in Rotterdam, and he was very emotionalized by the things that happen in Gaza. But he's a teacher, and what he saw was that not only he was emotionalized, but also the children in his classroom, because these discussions about Gaza also happened in the classroom. So what did he do? He made a lesson package for teachers, because other teachers didn't know how to deal with it. So one example of how these global events come close to us. Another one, we also all know this gentleman. He's a disruptor, you know, not only by X or Twitter, but also about Tesla, other things. But he's not the only disruptor. Our total economy around the world is changing very, very fast. If you're a taxi driver now, you have to deal with Uber. If you have a shop, you're a shopkeeper, you have to deal with Amazon. And this is just the beginning. And this is not for one country or one place. This is for everyone's life around the globe. If you're a family, you want to bring good food to the table for your children, healthy food. 1,000 years ago, you got it from your neighbor or from your own land. Now you go to the supermarket and suddenly prices rise. How does that come? Climate change, wars, inflation. Another example of how our local lives are influenced by all global events. If you bring this all together, for many people, life gets very complex. So we live in a very complex world, and sometimes our brain can't connect to that anymore. And what is the psychological effect of complexity? It sometimes gets too much, so people get disconnected, alienated, they feel a sense of loss, and this can happen also in a society. And what is the psychological effect of that? Is that people go for the simple solutions, even if they know it's not true. They still go for the simple solution, and then you get fake news, you get all the fairy tales, etc. And I would say, how do we cover this? Well, you would say by simplicity. I don't think so. To get towards a resilient society, you have to find other solutions. You have to give good quality information to people, but also education. And not only children, but we as adults, we have to educate ourselves, long life learning. But information shouldn't come top down. It should be a dialogue, should be a connection. And if that works out, you can create understanding again. People understand their lives again, understand the world and the beauty of the word understanding in English. It is not only about the mind, but also understanding among people. And then you create citizenship, and citizenship is the real foundation of a resilient society. But it shouldn't be only on the individual level. It only works in a whole community approach. And there were some speakers this day who also mentioned this. And I've worked for the government, and there's a great task for government to work on this, but national governments can't do this alone. It has to be also with local governments, schools, family and peers. Most people are mostly influenced by their family and peers. Science, business community, we can hear from them, media, civil society, NGOs. And just to finish, this is an example in my country, in the Netherlands. It's called Netwerk Media Wijsheid. It's a network of media literacy with 1,000 organizations who come together, schools, libraries, etc. And they do all kinds of projects and campaigns to create media literacy from bottom up. So.
Thank you, Mr. Eidenberg, for your introduction and presentation. We had a sense of how the society can be resilient in this century. It reminds me Ibn Khaldun's concept of asabiye. So he tried to make draw the same thing basically in, many centuries ago. Maybe we can just look again. We need to look again to remember and collaborate and combine with your theory. Thank you so much. You had actually a couple more minutes, but probably I'll leave it extra for you in the second round. So my second panelist, and Ms. Aslı Ünlü, the Corporate Communication Director of IC Holding. And mainly, the IC Holding mainly carries out its business activities in industries of construction, energy generation, distribution, tourism industry, and infrastructure, and holding, operating in many fields. And their insights and regarding brand reputation will be beneficial for our brainstorming. Aslı Hanım, birçok alanda, I'll continue in English and Turkish, birçok alanda sektörde çalışıyorsunuz. Bu konuda 2021-2022 vizyon ödüllerinde American Association of Communication Professionals tarafından Sustainability Report'ta 3 ödülünüz var. You had 3 awards in this category. So considering the importance of intersubjective, interpersonal relationship and nature of branding process, what strategies do you follow in the areas of strategic corporate communication in your, based on your experience? Deneyimlerinizi bize aktarır mısınız IC Holding'de? Buyurun.
Öncelikle hoş geldiniz. Bu geç saatte bizimle birlikte olduğunuz için çok teşekkür ediyoruz. Son derece önemli bir konuyu tartışacağız aslında. Neden önemli buluyorum bu sohbeti? Çünkü şu anda içinde bulunduğumuz Türkiye yüzyılı açısından değerlendirdiğimizde küresel tehditlere karşı dirençli marka inşa etmek her zamankinden daha önemli. Nasıl ki İstanbul yüzyıllar boyunca farklı kültürlere ev sahipliği yapmış ve bu anlamda da bu ev sahipliğini yaparken de kendini adapte etmişse, şu anda da teknoloji ve sosyoekonomik gelişmelerle birlikte yine bu değişimi son derece güzel yapıyor ve ev sahipliği yapmaya devam ediyor. İstanbul'un bu duruşu, küresel ve hibrit tehditlere karşı bizim de sahip olmamız gereken nitelikleri temsil ediyor adeta. Dirençli olmak, değişen koşullara kısa sürede adapte olmak, yer, zaman ve durum fark etmeksizin ilerlemeyi temsil ediyor. Bu nedenle bugünün küresel rekabet ortamında markalarımızın esnek ve yenilikçi yaklaşımlarla varlıklarını sürdürmeleri, pekiştirmeleri gerekiyor. Peki neden? Çünkü markaların artık bir personası var. Sadece bir logo, bir ürün veya hizmetler bütününden ibaret değil markalar. Onlar artık bir kişilik taşıyorlar. Bu kişilik markanın değerlerini, etik duruşunu, dolayısıyla tüketiciyle ve toplumla olan ilişkisini yansıtıyor. Tüketiciler markaları insanlar gibi görmeye başladı. Dolayısıyla onlardan toplumsal olaylara karşı duyarlı ve sorumlu bir tutum almalarını bekliyor. Bu beklenti temelinde markalarla bir bağ kuruyorlar ya da markayı tamamen hayatından çıkartıyorlar. Bunun en güzel örneğini biz 6 Şubat'ta yaşadığımız depremde gördük. Özellikle yeni jenerasyon markalara o kadar çok anlam yüklemişti ki onların yaptığı veya yapmadığı aksiyonlar karşısında büyük bir hayal kırıklığına uğradılar. Edelman 2023 güven barometresine göre tüketiciler toplumsal sorunların siyasetçi ve şirketlerin el birliğiyle çözülebileceğini düşünüyor. Yine araştırmaya göre liderler, medya ve sivil toplum kuruluşlarıyla karşılaştırıldığında tüketiciler şirketlerin daha fazla çözüm üretebileceğini düşünüyor ve daha fazla güveniyorlar veya güvenmek istiyorlar. Daha da önemlisi tüketicilerin 2/3'ü kendi değerlerine yakın olan markaları seçiyor. Yani sorun olarak gördüğü toplumsal konularla ilgili aksiyonları ortaya koyan markaları seviyorlar. Dolayısıyla güveni yeniden inşa etmek için insan ve hayvan popülasyonuna saygılı, etik değerlere saygılı ve somut çözüm üreten markalar bundan sonra daha fazla konuşulacak. Değerli dinleyiciler, küresel tehditler o kadar arttı ki ve günlük hayatımızda o kadar fazla yer tutmaya başladı ki yerel konuların önüne geçti. Rusya-Ukrayna savaşı, İsrail-Filistin çatışmaları, uluslararası göçmen krizi, siber saldırılar ve iklim krizi. Dünya sahnesindeki olaylar tüketicilerin markalara yönelik algısını etkileyen önemli faktörlerden biri haline geldi. Bu durum markaların küresel tehditlere ve çevrelerinde olan biten olaylara karşı sorumluluklarını daha ciddiye almalarını gerektiriyor. Dolayısıyla markaların tüketicilerin hayatlarındaki rollerini, önemini ve bu rollerle ilgili olarak neler yapacağını çok iyi bilmeleri ve bunu içselleştirmeleri gerekiyor. Artık ülke sınırlarını gözetmeksizin hedef kitlerin duygusal ihtiyaçlarını anlamak ve onlarla gerçek bir bağ kurmamız gerekiyor. Küresel marka olmak bunu gerektiriyor. Bu noktada Mevlana'nın güzel bir sözünü belirtmek isterim. Aynı dili konuşanlar değil, aynı duyguları paylaşanlar anlaşılabilir. Markaların aldığı sosyal ve politik tavırlar sadece yerel değil, aynı zamanda global rakipleri tarafından dikkatle izleniyor. Bu durum bir markanın itibarını ve piyasadaki konumunu etkiliyor. Dolayısıyla bir marka olarak küresel gelişmelere karşı alacağımız pozisyon sadece etik bir sorumluluk değil, aynı zamanda stratejik bir rekabet avantajı olarak değerlendirilebilir. İkinci bölümde biraz daha şirketimizle ilgili örneklerden bahsedeceğim.
Tabii, çok teşekkür ediyorum Aslı Hanım. Thanks for your very valuable insights on current trends and branding based on very sophisticated approach by IC Holding. Thank you so much. And now I want to give the floor to Çağ Günaçar, Brand Management and Corporate Communication Officer of TOG, which is our first domestically manufactured smart device. We call it a smart device, not a car. And TOG has become the leading brand and model in Turkish electric vehicle market, as well as in international arena. It's already very famous. Environmentally friendly TOG reflects Turkey's vision of sustainable future. So, Mr. Günaçar, I would like to ask you that, as TOG, you created a smart device, not a car. That is known, its vision of sustainable future again. TOG as a global innovation brand has been declared the 4th best brand out of over 3,000 brands in CES 2023 this year, Consumer Electronics Show. I assume it was in Las Vegas in the United States. So one of the top technology events in the world. As Turkey's first domestically produced car, TOG's reputation is strongly associated with the image of our country, we believe so. So could you please elaborate your experience, how TOG contributes to Turkey brand, and how the story evolved in years?
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much for the question. Maybe a couple of words about TOG, because I mean what we are doing at TOG is not limited, let's say, to domestically manufactured smart devices or electrical vehicles, let's say. There is a lot more than this at TOG. We basically operate in, let's say, 3 business verticals. The very first one, and maybe the most known one, let's say, is the smart mobility devices, as you said, from design to manufacture. And within this vertical, we already launched our first product, T10X. It's on the roads, and we already delivered more than 12,000 units to date, of which there is a manufacturing plant, which we call TOG Technology Campus, in Gemlik, and the total capacity of this campus, this production facility, let's say, is 175,000 units a year. So things are going well in this vertical, and of course we have some upcoming future plans. We will have some upcoming body types, upcoming models, and of course we will be in the expansion markets, in foreign markets, in close feature, let's say, and things, as I said, are going quite well within this vertical. So the next one is, the second one is the one we care a lot. This is the digital experience platform, which we call TrueMore, and this is what we believe will be the main differentiator for the brand, for TOG. And now within this pillar, let's say, we are focusing more on the experience that our users goes from A to B, let's say. So we are within this pillar, we are concentrated on the experience, and we are trying to enrich their experience with the digital experience platform. So we already have some products and services within this vertical, and things are also going quite well with that. So last but not least, the third vertical, the business vertical, is the clean energy solutions. And within this vertical, we are operating with 2 separate, let's say, entities. The very first one is Trugo, so it's a charging network all over Turkey, in all 81 cities, with more than 400 ultra-fast charging stations. And on the other side, within this vertical, the clean energy solutions, we have Syro. The name is coming from Silk Road. So it's a 50% joint venture together with Farasis. Farasis is one of the most important, let's say, battery manufacturer in the world. And here in Turkey, nearby our campus in Gemlik, we are partnering with Farasis, and the entity is already there, and they are already providing batteries to our T10 axis from the very beginning, from the first day. And within this vertical, the third one, together with TOG, it's the clean energy solution. So coming to your question, Nurhanım, TOG, being a born global and sustainable brand, will have the biggest impact, the contribution to Turkey brand, in our opinion, in our understanding. And let me talk about what we have done so far about brand building activities to be a resilient brand, to be a sustainable brand. So when we go back to the year 2018, I can say that we somehow dedicated a significant part of our time to brand building activities. So at that time, our business partners, the external companies we work with, of course, including research companies, strategy agencies, and of course the brand agencies, they were even surprised about how much we concentrated on the brand building activities. So imagine a newly established entity having numerous tasks ahead with quite challenging deadlines, yet it devoted all attention, focus, and time to a subject that many others, the outsiders, find on one side abstract and on the other side lightweighted, the brand. So everyone in this conference room knows that, it's quite often that the brand works, the brand studies come after the financial success. So once you have a financial success, and once you're good at your financial statements, then you start think of the brand buildings. So the first thing you do is that you write a vision and mission, and then you hire an agency and try to create a brand out of the company, already existing customers in all over the world, hundreds, millions of revenues, let's say, and then you start. But it was totally not the case for TOG. So from the very beginning, from the first day, I can say, that these initial brand studies, with the active involvement and the lead of our CEO, Mr. Gürcan Karakaş, continued for more than 6 months in the very beginning. I have witnesses in this conference room. So we were so determined on the following. It always starts with the user and ends with the user. So to understand the user characteristics, let's say, we conducted a couple of Turkey representative, both quantitative and qualitative researches, with always analyzing the already existing ones, of course. Once we have the target segmentation, the user definition, we went deeper into their expectations about the product and the brand. So during the qualitative surveys, researches, which we didn't care a lot, by the way, we focused more on the answers of whys instead of whats. It was all about insight finding to build the whole brand on it. We found it and started to build it up. So we once again spent significant part of our time to make the whole brand house, including from reasons to believe to differentiators, from the archetype setting to rational and emotional side of the brand, the golden circle of the brand, the what, who, and how analyzes, and of course the principles of the brand. So if you basically have the principles with a strong backbone, the things I previously mentioned, and if you are good at executing them, then you become a long-lasting, sustainable brand. It makes you predictable, and being predictable is important because it means that the brand has the character. Then you become consistent both in behaviors and in your communication. And if you support this consistency with creativity, clarity, and continuity, this is, we believe, what makes brand resilient, let's say, and this is exactly how we do at Talk. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Gunachar. It was very interesting. It's not just about the story, telling story, or being a storyteller about one brand. You just gave us a sense that this requires very serious footsteps. And it is interpersonal, it requires interpersonal communication and also emotions. You are all talking about the emotions, dialogue, and connection between the people to people, people to brand. So it is very important in terms of creating a resilient brands in our century. So, and this is the second round, and you have 5 to 7 minutes, Mr. Eidenberg. And we have been talking about the age of uncertainty. This is a very popular term, and hybrid threats, information wars. And you made an excellent presentation about resilient societies, creating a resilient society. So in terms of creating a resilient societies, what we are about to face in our future. So what should be done? I think it's a very tough question, but
Yeah.
you just give us some clue about what we should be expect from the future.
Well, I
as a
want
society.
to pick out one thing and at the same time react on both the presentations, because in an earlier presentation we saw from the Edelman review, who do people trust? And business brands were at the highest. And the stories that we've heard is both from businesses who want to connect to people, who want to invest in the future, sustainability, but also taking their social responsibility. And I think we all have our job to do, but I'm very hopeful if brands like these, and also I hope other brands who can also be, of course, disruptors, but if they have this vision and this attitude, I think this can really help building a resilient society. This is the business part, of course, there's also other parties to take, but I'm really glad to hear both these contributions.
Thank you. And Aslanım, I will direct you to the similar question. We heard about IC Holdings' experiences, and as a strategic communication expert in this field for many years, what do you assess about our future in terms of threats against our brands, national brands, or not just commercial brands, also the brand identities of whole nation and also the humanity. The morality is important, as you mentioned, and dialogue, emotions are so important, ethics at the top, very important to connect the people with the brands. So how do you assess, evaluate about the future in terms of the threats against brands?
55 yıllık bir markanın itibarını yöneten bir kişi olarak aslında benim için sadece bugünün değerleri değil, aynı zamanda geleceğin değerlerin yargılarını da hesaba katmak büyük önem taşıyor. Çünkü biliyorum ki şu andaki etkiler değil, gelecek nesillere neler bıraktığımız çok büyük önem taşıyacak. Biz IC Holding olarak yurt dışında, sadece Türkiye sınırları içinde değil, yurt dışında da çok büyük projelere imza atıyoruz. Bunların imza atarken de şu iki düşünce var aslında aklımızda. Bir tanesi, bir tarafta hem şirketimizi temsil ediyoruz ama öbür taraftan da Türkiye'yi temsil ediyoruz bu başarılarımızla. Buna en iyi örnek olarak verebileceğim bizim inşaat grubumuzun Suudi Arabistan'da inşa ettiği King Halid Uluslararası Havalimanı. ki yüz ölçümü olarak dünyanın en büyük havalimanlarından biri olarak nitelendiriliyor. İnşaat grubumuz şu anda bütün havalimanının yeniden revizyonunu yapıyor ki bu büyük bir başarıyı aslında temsil ediyor. Başka topraklarda başka bir ulusla birlikte çalışma kültürüyle birlikte. Diğer biri de çok yakın bir zamanda temelini attığımız Vietnam'daki Long Tan Havalimanı. Yine orada da aslında büyük bir projeye imza atıyor ve parlayan bir yıldız Long Tan Havalimanı. Çünkü inşası bittiğinde Asya'nın en büyük havalimanı olacak Long Tan. Dolayısıyla bizim açımızdan baktığımızda dirençli marka olabilmek için önemli şeyler kaydetmek gerekiyor ama diğer bir konuda bir önceki seansta bahsettiğim gibi bizim tüketicinin sesini dinlememiz hepsinden daha önemlisi. Buna da en önemli verebileceğim örnek aslında 6 Şubat'ta yaşadığımız deprem felaketi. Biz şirket olarak yaşanan felaket sonrasında hem holdingimiz hem iştiraklerimiz hem vakfımızla birlikte, grup şirketlerimizle birlikte hemen bir planlama yaptık ve topyekün hazır bir şekilde sahaya indik. İnşaat şirketimiz 6500 çalışanıyla birlikte arama kurtarma çalışmalarına katıldı ve yaklaşık 1200 vatandaşımızı enkazdan çıkarttı. Diğer taraftan turizm grubumuz hızlı bir şekilde organize olarak hem sıcak servis yaptı hem Antalya'daki otelleri depremzede vatandaşlarımız için açtı. Diğer tarafta enerji grubumuz var. Onlar da enerjinin devam etmesiyle ilgili olarak çok yoğun bir çaba sarf ederek çalışmalar yaptılar. Dolayısıyla biz aslında tamamıyla topyekün bir şekilde kendi yetkinliklerimizi devreye sokarak diğer tarafta bir sanayi şirketimiz var, Treysan, konteyner üretiyor ki biliyorsunuz deprem zamanı en fazla ihtiyacımız olan konuydu konteyner. Onlar da 24 saat çalışarak konteyner üretti. Bizim için büyük bir sınavdı deprem. Dolayısıyla markamızı ne kadar dayanıklı olduğunu gözlemlemek açısından da önemliydi. Ki burada herkesin aslında kendi yetkinliklerini ortaya koyarak burada çok daha başarılı olduğunu düşünüyorum. Ve markaların ancak bu şekilde birlikte çalışarak, birlikte çalışma kültürüyle daha fazla iş kültürüyle birlikte daha dirençli, daha başarılı ve ortak bir paydada buluşabileceğini düşünüyorum. Teşekkür ederim.
Çok teşekkür ederiz. Çağ Bey, size dönmek istiyorum. We all talking about today, cyber attacks have become major perception wars like data protection, digital security is a technical part of the threats actually we are facing, we have been facing today. So the talk is a very complicated, sophisticated technology. Talk has very sophisticated technology. So, as a brand, also as a product, how you eliminate the potential threats and all, or what is your plans to eliminate these potential threats in a technological way, and also about the reputation of talk in future?
Yeah. Thank you very much for the question. I can say that what we believe at TOG is the following. Brands can only navigate the challenges of uncertainty, information wars, and the hybrid threats by doing a couple of things. I mean, indeed, our strategy set is not limited to the things that I'm going to mention, but let me share the most important ones. The very first thing is that we prioritize the transparent communication. So at TOG, instead of being reactive in our communication, what we do is the proactive, transparent communication, which we believe on one side builds trust and on the other side helps eliminate the misinformation. The next thing we do is that we actively monitor not only social media but all online channels. So we are on one side using the already existing tools just like other brands, and on the other side we are developing our own tools. Let's say, we are a mobility technology and we have an omni-channel user-driven and online connected platform. We are developing our own tools for real-time monitoring of what's happening and what's being told on digital channels. So this allows us to detect potential threats early and respond effectively. So the next thing is that we, of course, invest in cybersecurity because what's important at most is the data in our business. So this is on one side company-owned data, which is subject to intellectual property rights, and on the other side, the sensitive data of our users, which we use to create additional value for their good, of course, if they allow us. So we kind of regularly revisit and update our security protocols on one side, and on the other side, we educate our team on cyber threats and in general, cybersecurity. The next thing is that we build strong relationships with all stakeholders. So this stakeholder definition depends from company to company, but in our understanding at TOG, the definition of stakeholder is an extent from the users to the brand ambassadors, from the governmental authorities where you operate to your business partners and suppliers. So having a strong and sustainable relationships with all your stakeholders makes us even stronger against these potential threats, because it means that the spread of the misinformation is somehow limited. And on the other side, once you have a threat or a crisis, it means that you are not alone. You can fight with the entire ecosystem, and you can have your stakeholders with you to, of course, eliminate the misinformation. Last but not least, of course, we are developing crisis management plans, and we, of course, regularly update, challenge, and question them to ensure their effectiveness and validity. So in general, in addition to that, in general, promoting digital literacy and ethical practices, ethical behaviors, can also contribute to build a resilient brand image. So in literature, you may find some further detailed strategies, but honestly and frankly speaking, in this VUCA world, or today's even worse situation, the bunny or age of chaos, you name it, whatever, even the VUCA term is outdated. So these threats and crises become, let's say, fast-consuming facts, just like many other things in the digital landscape. So in this VUCA world, planning something is difficult, but implementing what is planned is already is even more challenging. So because the dynamics can change so rapidly that by the time you plan and implement something, the significant portion of the assumptions in the plan has already changed. So last but not least, as I mentioned at the beginning, I mean, we need to understand that there is no one and only strategy set which fits the majority, let's say. So every brand and company needs to first analyze its situation, make a definition of its environment, and be prepared for upcoming potential threats and crises. So plan, do, check, act mechanism has often worked throughout history. But in today's VUCA world, I mean, planning can lead to a cycle of constant re-evaluation and adaptation due to the internal and external factors. So, therefore, finding the right balance is the most reasonable approach in this complexity, let's say. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gunachar. With very insightful. I mean, the points you underlined that and gives us one reality that there is no style book for perfect, excellent strategic communication or branding, because
It's
the
a tailor-made
conditions
thing.
change very rapidly in terms of digitalization, globalization, conflict-based environment and ecosystem in our world. So there is no one certain style book or manual to deal with them. And every citizen, as you mentioned, and another point, is our brand ambassador. And glocal, the term of glocal tells us that every citizen is represents their local community, also society, nation, and brands. So which we are very keen with this concept, and this is our goal to make each citizen to be a brand ambassador of Turkey in domestically and also in overseas. So thank you so much. Is there any last words, Mr. Reidenberg, from you in the light of our discussion?
Well,
1 minute.
I only would
for
say
each.
that I'm very grateful for the opportunity to be here and the concept of this gathering by the Republic of Turkey to bring people from all over the world, but from all aspects of profession together, because building resilience is also, in the end, coming together, and that's what you do. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Çok teşekkür
Aslanım.
ediyorum. Sağ olun.
Teşekkürler.
Finally, I can say that we need to keep in mind that considering what our CEO says always, let's say, as if we cannot not communicate, then we need to be proactive, vigilant, and responsive to the dynamic nature of the trend in this digital landscape, let's say. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Gunachar.